Jedi, at last we will have revenge. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
Welcome, followers of the Dark Side and the Light. I am your host, John, the real JP3, and I'm joined as always by my good friend and fellow Sith Lord, who is a master of the dark side, expert on the occult, and obtainer of rare antiquities and holocrons. Please welcome Dark Lord of the Sith, David!
You know, John, this is the third time we've done this for the two of you, and this is the third time I have no idea what to do while you're talking for the intro part. I'm just like, hi,
He's trying,
hi.
he's trying to be a master of the dark side over here, and he takes notes. And the whole time, like, I'm not even paying attention to him as I'm talking, because I'm literally over here just looking at myself like, I could be an announcer. One day, I will be an announcer, where I can stand up and say, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I can do it. I'm going to do it.
Do it. Find, like, local UFC fights and little kindergarten plays and stuff like that, and just start announcing that.
I'm just saying.
You gotta start somewhere.
Are you ready to rumble?
Did you say rumba?
Yeah, is that what it is? It's rumble. Oh, it's rumble. My bad.
Yeah, you can't be an announcer if you don't know the terms you're announcing.
Rumba, this is the robot vacuum cleaner.
I was thinking the same thing.
Vacuum cleaner regional finals.
And then just like 20 vacuums just come out of nowhere.
I'm gonna do it.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen anytime soon, because I don't know how that's gonna take. Or who knows? Maybe you'll be a hit, and I don't know. And I gotta find a new co-host. Anywho, oh, you got a finger?
One day.
Okay. Yeah, episode 91 of the Rule of Two podcast. In this episode, Johnny,
What's going on?
We're talking episode 9. I know everyone's talking episode 9, but what are we gonna see in episode 9? What kind of battles? We're gonna kind of backtrack a little bit. What happened in episode 8 with Rian Johnson? What we saw a little bit in The Last Jedi? Are we gonna get a mix of it between Last Jedi and Force Awakens, or something completely new? But we got a little bit of news, so let's hit the Galactic Times first.
All right. So Mike Mann is off this week, so we're going to throw it over to Jason Gaylord with channelstarwars.com to bring us this week's Galactic Times. Take it away, Jason.
Greetings to all the slugs on Nelhutta. This is the Galactic Times, brought to you by Pablo's Pawn Shop, the Babausa Bazaar, and channelstarwars.com. Star Wars news for Star Wars fans by Star Wars fans. Bringing you the news faster than a starving dragon snake, I'm your host, Jason Gaylord.
Attention, nerds!
Back in May, fans got their first taste of stepping inside the realm of Star Wars with the release of Oculus Quest's Vader Immortal, Episode 1. In this virtual reality game, players are instructed on Mustafar by the Dark Lord himself, Darth Vader. Fast forwarding to the present, the OQ has released a few concept pieces for the next chapter, Vader Immortal Episode 2, including Black Bishop. For those who haven't had the opportunity to check this out yet, Black Bishop is helping Vader to unlock the key to bringing back the dead. Yeah, we know where this is going. Another key aspect to this adventure is that players will use the Force opposed to a lightsaber on missions for the former Jedi. Stay tuned as a release date has yet to be announced.
I don't know you anymore. Anakin, you're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow.
On the illustrated front, next week marks the release of Marvel's Age of Resistance Special Number 1. In this one-shot story, we get some history of Vice Admiral Amilyn Holdo. In this issue, we see how Holdo, who is General Organa's purple-haired second-in-command in The Last Jedi, escapes the threat of dangerous enemies, which starts her down the path of the rebellion. Like all of Marvel's Age of stories, this is sure to be an excellent issue with nothing but amazing artwork. Age of Rebellion Special Number 1 hits the public on July 31st.
That one's a troublemaker. I like him. Me too.
And lastly, Disney has announced the animated Star Wars Resistance Season 1 will be released on DVD. While Resistance has been available for streaming on Hulu and Netflix for a while, This physical copy comes with a ton of special features such as commentary by producers and voice actors, 12 bonus shots, and discussions about the past, present, and future of the Resistance series. Star Wars Resistance Season 1 on DVD will be available for purchase on August 20th.
Snoochie boochies.
That's all the time we have this week. Make sure you like and follow us on the Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter for news, facts, and history. For ChannelStarWars.com, I'm Jason Gaylord reminding you... And now, back to David and John on The Rule of Two, a Star Wars podcast.
Thank you for that update, Jason, on the Galactic Times. A lot of good, really cool things going on. I think last week or the past couple weeks have been really heavy with news in the Star Wars universe. I don't understand it. Sometimes you get very, very heavy news. Sometimes it's very, very dry, and you're searching for information or trying to find things in the news to talk about. And then there's some weeks where it's like hardcore, where they post and talk about everything under the sun for Star Wars.
Well, you had San Diego Comic-Con last week, John. That's why that's why there's so much news, because they had an event.
I understand that, but even when there's not an event, sometimes you just get a ton of news that comes your way, and it's like, okay, what happened? What's going on? What's the announcement? So I think the next big release of news waves, which makes sense, is D23.
Yeah,
in
next
August.
Month, right?
Yes, next month.
What day?
I can find the specific days for you guys. I will start my Google locator.
Google locator. Look at his Google face, guys. Look at the Google face. Look at him. Look, he's trying to fight the smile. He's there. He's like, oh, I gotta close that link. That's not appropriate. Let's open this one.
It is Friday, August 23rd through August 25th at Disneyland Park in Anaheim, California.
Sweet. So prepare, because there's going to be more news on that. One thing that Jason didn't cover, that we got to cover.
Oh man, what did you not cover?
Disney Plus, Hulu, making a baby.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
So Disney Plus is going to be Hulu's baby, just attached to it, umbilical cord kind of thing. You can add on if you want.
Yeah, it's just going to be an add-on service for people who already are Hulu subscribers, which a lot of people are commenting that's pretty awesome, because now people don't have to go get a separate subscription, and I think that's what Disney's really trying to do. They're trying to put everything under one umbrella, or not one umbrella, but at least one billing system. So you have ESPN Plus, you have Hulu, and you have Disney Plus. If you can find a way to put that all under one billing system and a person gets one bill instead of multiple charges to the account, probably saves them a ton of money, and the viewers or the subscribers probably enjoy it too. And not to mention, you are now interacting, or you have that many subscribers on Hulu that are already going to be a part of that subscription service. Now they can just add Disney Plus on. I wonder if it's going to be a lower rate. You think it's going to be lower?
No, that's why it's $6.99, because it's $6.99 add-on addition to Hulu.
I still think there could be like $1 a day.
There's not going to be $1 a day, John. What kind of world do you live in that you can get a premium streaming service for $1? When was the last time you got something premium for $1?
I got Spotify Premium for 99 cents for 3 months.
Okay, what happens after 3 months?
It goes up to like $3 or $4. I don't know what it is. I just signed up for it. It hits my PayPal account. I'm just like, whatever.
I'm proud.
I listen to the music. Yeah, using PayPal nowadays. My card's got jacked 5 times, so I use PayPal for everything now.
Yeah, you have to, even more so considering the little tiny baby bank that you use that has like no national footprint, and yeah, you just get taken over by internet pirates and scoundrels. So
I have a cousin who works for a bank. She used to be the VP of a bank. She told me, she said, John, your card's been hacked 5 times? I said, yeah, it's been hacked 5 times. And she said, okay. And she said, well, what do you do? And so I kind of explained to her, and she was like, you know why, John, right? And I said, why? She said, your bank cannot determine your spending habits. So the computer system that's written to help with fraud cannot figure you out because you're all over the place. And I'm like, That's a valid point. I really am all over the place. Like,
Yet again, I've
the
told you, like, get a bigger bank account, bigger national branch to help you out instead of a little local spot that is barely
it's
getting
not
3 locations in a small town.
it's not even it's not as local as you think.
How far do they stretch?
They stretch all the way up to they're in Gonzales, Texas. But
Oh
they're
yeah,
all the
because
way
what's
up
in
in
Gonzales, Texas?
they're all the way up to Round Rock, Georgetown, all the way down to now Corpus. They have some branches, I think, in the valley as well. All of San Antonio. It's Frost is only in the state of Texas too, and it's about the same size as Frost Bank.
Well, I'm not telling you to bank with Frost.
I'm just telling you.
Don't get mad, Frost, but like I don't bank with you. Get a national bank. Bank of America.
He banks with Bank of America because they have the Bank of America Stadium where the Carolina Panthers play. That's why David banks with Bank of America.
That, and they were the first ones to roll out a digital app on the iPhone. Just say.
There's also a lot of fees associated with having a bank instead of a credit union.
But either way, they're helping me out with my home loan and got me a crazy awesome interest rate. So, thank you, Bank of America.
And this is not a promotion for Bank of America, by the way. They are not in no way paying us to announce their home loan rates. FYI, I feel this just turned into a financial podcast. Bank of America,
But-
however, if you
Yeah,
do want to send us some money because we're promoting your home loan, we will be glad to receive it.
If you want to sponsor us, by all means, we'll be the first podcast to be sponsored by a bank. I'm totally down. Then we can go ahead and get custom debit cards with the Rule of Two logo. It'll be awesome. I love it. I dig it. I want it.
I kind of feel like I'm gonna maybe under the table hashtag Bank of America in this post.
See what they say.
Bank of America, listen to us. We promoted you.
Anyway, as we digress, I think it was many episodes back where we kind of talked about the possibility of Disney just doing an add-on to Hulu. Once we heard that Disney acquired Hulu, I'm fairly certain we talked about them just doing an add-on.
We probably did. And so
Don't tell me
Comcast-
what number episode to go back and verify, but I'm fairly certain that we mentioned an add-on.
we talked about our speculations and what it could be, and it made sense. It still makes sense. Hulu allows you to add on HBO, Star, Cinemax, all those additional things. You can add on ESPN, obviously. Comcast is a majority stakeholder for Hulu, and I think they own about 30% of Hulu, whereas the Walt Disney Company owns 70%. They took majority stake after AT&T decided to sell their shares after they acquired Time Warner. So 70% compared to 30. Somebody made a comment on our Facebook page about, I guess, Comcast is going to have to give up what they have because I don't see Disney sharing their income. I'm trying to find the guy's name. Poor guy's name. I want to give him credit for what he said.
So not only did he comment, I met that cat at Star Wars Celebration.
No.
Yeah. So when I saw the post, I was like, "Don't tell me, is it him?"
Yeah. So Esteban Ortiz made the comment about, hey, I don't foresee Disney wanting to share their profits with Comcast. So he says I could eventually see right before Disney Plus launches that they come in and say, hey, Comcast, we're going to pay you out because we want to own it. I can see it. They've done it before Fox, all that other stuff that they now have. So we'll definitely see what happens. But I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. Even more so, shout out to Esteban. I met him at the Fallen Order trailer panel, if you will. I was sitting there, chilling in the seat. He was hanging out with his wife. Got pretty awesome seats. He was kind enough to hang out, hold my spot while I went to go get nachos and a couple hot dogs, and a refill on my cup. Good times. Thanks, Esteban.
Thank you, Esteban.
You helped get my tummy nice and full by saving my seat. I didn't have to worry about it. And you got some pins and stuff. And we talked and chatted, and you liked the page. Thank you.
David just hands up. Anybody who talks to him, David just gives him pins and buttons. He just says,
better than you than just blindly walking around. Want a pin? Want a pin? Want a pin? Want a pin?
okay. And then I love talking with her. Like, are you? Oh man, we've seen you before. Oh really? Like, yeah, you're on YouTube. Nope, that's not us. But you
We
can
are
listen to
now.
us. We are on YouTube now. So anyway, but yeah, so I'm excited because I am the person. Have you ever seen those memes on Facebook where it says
I know where
like
we're going with this.
Netflix moochers, John, Netflix, Hulu, moochers, and so I'm excited that I can put this under one lump sum of an account, and I don't have to pay multiple people for this. Um, However, I was kind of happy when they announced Disney Plus because it's like, man, maybe I can get one of the moochers to pay for it. I feel that's not going to happen at this point.
See, so the original plan, I was going to pay for Disney Plus if it was a separate streaming service, but now that it's conjoined, just add it on.
Granted, cost of Hulu, cost of Disney Plus. I'm going to get my hand just right. Hulu, Disney Plus. So, just saying, but
I wish Hulu had different profiles like Netflix does, because I love logging on your Netflix and being one of the moochers. You got John's profile, not John, some creepy old
maybe
guy,
John.
maybe John.
So I think that you can actually add a profile on Netflix.
No, we know we can do it on Netflix. I'm talking about Hulu.
I mean, you can add it on Hulu. If you go to the main start screen, it says add profile or select profile.
I got to keep mine going. Maybe John.
Well, at the end of the day, never mind, we're not going to get into the semantics of it, but your Hulu is only your Hulu, by the way.
Well, then what the hell?
So everything that's on your Hulu is not on my Hulu.
Shark Tank for days. Anyways,
Literally what he watches. So Hulu, Disney Plus going to Hulu as an add-on. We'll wait till they make the announcement that you can actually add it on. And we'll go. I honestly see them doing like an opening up thing where they say, hey, we're going to open it up. You're able to subscribe or sign up for it. And then from there, it'll launch on this date just to see how many subscribers they're going to get out the gate. I think that they're not worried about it, but
we'll
I
see
can see
that
them
the
doing it.
smart play is adding on to the streaming service that Hulu already resides on is they already have servers. They already have,
Yes.
tried and tested equipment that handles, a huge infrastructure whenever they have a new Hulu exclusive or TV series or something come out. They can handle that extra bit of traffic. So don't get me wrong, I'm sure they're adding more servers, more stuff to go ahead and help the congestion or the digital traffic, but it sounds like it'll be an easy transition for these guys.
Yeah. Anything with Disney, they're not going to falter. Disney's going to want to make sure that whatever they do is the right thing and it's the best way to do it. It's as what does John Hammond say in Jurassic Park? Spare no expense. Disney doesn't spare any expense to make sure something happens.
No, they spared an expense for Solo. They didn't promote Solo properly. They didn't have any of the timing down. They've already tasted failure, John. Disney has tasted failure with Solo.
They dipped their toe in the water.
Hey, but either way, that gave them a wake-up call that they need to go ahead and do certain things differently. And I think that's going to help them in the long run. Not that Solo was a bad movie. I love Solo. Don't make that face. Don't make that face.
Hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
There you go. Thank you, Resistance Broadcast, for that hashtag.
I'm going to hashtag them in it too. Hashtag. Anyway,
do it.
So getting on, so that's all the bit of extra galactic times we have from Jason and channelstarwars.com. So we appreciate that from you guys. Let's get into the Greedo and Han Solo of the podcast. I don't know. I came up with that off the top of my head, and I'm not on my game today.
That's not food, John. I don't want to eat Greedo or Han Solo.
I don't know what to come up with.
I know I've told you I would succumb to cannibalism if the need arose, but I'm not going to do it just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know what to say, but we can't say meat and potatoes because Dave doesn't want us to say that.
Oh, we can say meat and potatoes. I just want something different.
Okay. So we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of episode 91, a Star Wars podcast, talking about potential battle scenes that we would think or we would like to see in episode 9 as it wraps up production and it comes out December 2019. What year are we in? I thought we were already in 2020. My bad.
You don't even say a date. You just said December
Yeah, because
2020.
I got lost when I was thinking of like, oh my god, is it December
This is
2020
why we
already?
don't. This is why we don't shoot episodes in the morning, John. You're not fully functional in the morning. Look at you.
I'm googling
You're scrambling. Regardless,
December 20th, 2019. Oh my god.
I swear. Just sit there and look pretty, John. Just sit there and look pretty. Look pretty. Look pretty. That's too pretty. Stop it. You're gonna break YouTube. Ooh, I like it. So one thing that we already know, we know we're gonna get some crazy kind of battles. We just don't know what kind. And I say that because I'm referencing John Boyega's, I think it was tweet or Instagram, when they were doing filming, where he was like showing his hands. They were all dirty. There was like a little speck of blood.
Yeah, I remember.
He was saying we're gonna be in for a crazy battle. We've had Daisy Ridley go on the press tour recently, saying there's a crazy lightsaber battle between her and Kylo. We don't know if there's multiple, just the one, or what. But she's saying that the lightsabers are so much lighter now that lets them maneuver and do, I guess, stunts quicker and more lightsaber action at a faster pace. So that's obviously something there. But I'm going back to the Vanity Fair article because there's that one scene where Finn's on that space horse yak looking thing with that new character. I forget her name. It's escaping me right now. That they're getting ready. The caption said this, that they're getting ready to fight the First Order's mechanized force. We're getting more, obviously, droids, more ground troops that the First Order has that we haven't seen before. So that's going to be exciting. What do you think, John?
So I remember the pictures and I'm recalling them as you're talking through them. And yes,
It said mechanized force.
I personally think this. So you brought up the point. I made the comment. Space battles, I think, is going to be very far and few between in episode 9. I think we're going to get more lightsaber fights and we're going to get more ground battles than we would actually space battles in episode 9. You made the comment. I think it's going to be similar, like episode 1, Phantom Menace, where you have a ground assault and a space attack at the same time. I very much could see that happen.
With a lightsaber battle happening at the exact same time. All three occur.
Yeah, all three occur. So I could definitely see that happening. The mechanized force, I don't know. I definitely see more droids, more troops, something of that nature. I wrote down, and I know this is getting into what we're already talking about. Do you foresee, because as I was thinking through this last night, do you foresee maybe you have an entire army of Sith troopers? Would you consider that a mechanized force?
So
or
in your mind, what's mechanized mean?
So mechanized is mechanics, mechanical, like droids, robots, or something like that. But could you see the Sith troopers as part of that mechanized force? I can't. I cannot get
are
past
the Sith troopers machines?
Okay, maybe I was going somewhere there and I didn't let it run long enough, apparently. But all I can go back to, and what I only ever think of when you say mechanized force, is the only thing I ever think of is the B1 battle droid. Like, my mind is stuck with that, and I don't foresee that coming back and happening. There is a possibility, because we got the Palp laugh at the end of it. It was used in the Phantom Menace and the prequels, the Clone Wars. So I could definitely see it happening. I just don't know if I would be okay with it.
Well, no,
I think that was done and over with.
No, don't get me wrong. The B1 battle droids and the super battle droids, all that was Trade Federation technology. It was the Trade Federation, the Techno Union, the Geonosians that came up with that style of troops. Yes, Palpatine was an instrument of getting them going, but I don't think he designed anything. I don't think those were his creations. I don't think he was proud of any of those. What if the Sith troopers are actually robots? They're mechanized. They look like normal troopers, but they were some part of a contingency with Operation Cinder. That, because in Operation Cinder, again, Palpatine's not alive anymore. He's wearing a red robe. He's kind of rolling around, and he's got a faceplate that shows his face, or a projection of his face. What if the Sith troopers are just been on lockdown this whole time? I know it's probably not likely, even more so considering they have First Order looking armor. But just a thought. Be crazy. It would be cool.
Like the contingency plan to the contingency plan.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so hey, Operation Cinder's the contingency plan if Palp dies. Not Operation Cinder. So yeah, Operation Cinder, Palp dies. This is the contingency. And then there's like Operation Pancakes that activates. I'm thinking of pancakes that activates the First Order guys, new Sith trooper. But again, it doesn't count because it's First Order trooper, Sith trooper.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I
based
just
on
think
what
of pancakes. I don't know.
what we have talked about before and what we have seen before from Palpatine is highly plausible contingency plan. I feel that the Emperor had so many plans and so many different things that were working that I could absolutely 100% see it. We talk about it and we hear about what was I'm to this off. So in like Rogue One, you had Director Koenig, what was it, working on the Death Star, and then you had Tarkin that took it over. You have in the Thrawn books, you hear conversations about the fact that I think it's the second or third. I haven't gone there yet. I'm still reading the first one, which is really good, by the way, guys. After like 15 years, I know. So isn't there what like Thrawn's project is put on the back burner?
The Defender project, the TIE Defender.
Yeah. So then you think about that, and you're like, I could see the Emperor really having multiple sections in the Empire that was working as contingency plans. And so this is what I think. You and I both interviewed people for work. We've gotten there. In your mind, you ask a question and you have to think of like the 5 different answers you could receive.
Yeah.
And then you tailor your next, I feel like I'm all like, you tailor your next question to the answer that you received. I feel it's the same way with Palpatine. He tailors what his action is based off of the information he receives, but he has 5 different arenas or buckets to pull that information or pull that plan out of to make it effective. Now I'm like building this movie up where I'm like, JJ, if you don't give me something like this, I'll be upset. Like, I know it's unrealistic, but the contingency plan of the contingency plan, 100% see it based on how Palpatine has been before.
And the only way I think it would work that the Sith troopers are actually robots just looking like normal troopers is if, in fact, Snoke was a puppet of Palpatine, or he's got somebody on the inside that he said, hey, make these guys for me. Do it, a project off the books, make them for me. Whether it's his essence talking, him talking between worlds, a holocron, whatever, just so they can do his bidding in the long run. But, again, we have no idea what it looks like. All we know is the Vanity Fair article said mechanized troops. The First Order's mechanized troops. Which we haven't seen the First Order use any type of real droids other than the BB units. The First Order BB units.
Yeah.
That's the only droid I've really seen in 7 and 8. So
besides like the trash droids and all those other things that don't really contribute to the war. But yeah, and that's why. So I brought up the B1 battle droid because I could really see. Yeah, it was Trade Federation technology. The GNSs came up with it and everything. Maybe Palp was like, you know what? I kind of like the fact that it's dispensable, that the B1 battle droid is dispensable, and it's not that big of a deal. But why can't I enhance it or make it better? Give you something that's like a version 5 instead of the original version 1 that we used to see. Like, it's been through testing, it's done some phase in, and they've made a lot of changes to it. That's what I was thinking when I originally said that.
Fair enough. So, just based off that article alone, we know we're going to have some type of big ground battle, probably in the 3rd act, closing the movie down. But also in conjunction, I think we're going to see a crazy-ass lightsaber this time.
Yes.
Episode 7, we only got the final showdown between Rey, Finn, and Kylo, which I love. Don't get me wrong. I thought that was a beautiful first lightsaber battle. Get your feet wet, get the pounding of Kylo, bringing out the anger, the rage, the hate, the focus. And then you only had you had the Praetorian lightsaber battle between Rey and them. What did you think of those, John?
So all my predictions that I wrote down, Dave just covered. Have a nice day, guys. Thanks.
Those weren't predictions. Those were just recapping previous events.
No, but that's what I used as an example of like what I would expect to see in the future. So I thought that the lightsaber fight between Kylo, Rey, and Finn was I felt it was necessary, but I don't think it gave us everything. I still felt there was some, I guess you could say, animosity between the three of them that needs to be taken care of. I actually wrote down as a potential lightsaber battle, Kylo and Finn. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that battle is gonna, like, they are actually going to get to fight with lightsabers again, and Finn's going to be able to redeem himself from his actions. Now, that may say that I'm speculating that he's a Force user. I get what I'm saying, guys. I really do. I just have a feeling there's going to be a Kylo and Rey lightsaber fight. Hands down, we can all agree it's going to be intense. It's going to be even more intense than their battle on in the Force Awakens in the Force Awakens. But the Finn and Kylo battle, I think, is going to take it up like 3 or 4 notches from the battle they had. Because Finn was like, he got hurt and blah, blah, and all that stuff. But I think a Kylo and Finn fight is going to happen. I don't know why. I feel it. It's going to be a rematch of the Force Awakens fight. And Finn's going to actually be able to go toe-to-toe with Kylo. I'm not going to speculate who's going to win. I'm not going to go down that path.
I don't see that happening, man.
You don't see it happening?
I don't see it happening.
I feel a Kylo and Finn fight's going to happen. I've said it just 5 minutes ago. I'm basically saying he may be a Force user, but I'm okay with that. I think it's going to happen, though. I think he's going to need redemption.
I don't see it happening. Kylo, obviously, has gotten stronger since The Force Awakens, as has Rey. I think at this point, the only person that could even attempt to fight Kylo would be Rey. I don't even think it would be fair to have Finn go up against Kylo, even a hurt Kylo. Not fair. I think he.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's fair or not fair. I'm just saying I have a feeling something's going to happen.
You wanna put a bet on it?
No, because usually my feelings are wrong when it comes to Star Wars. And Dave's like, I read Article 55 of Episode 317 of this comic, and it alludes to the fact that this is not going to happen. And I just
there is no 355.
Whatever.
I don't know. I just don't see it happening. I really don't.
I think, why else would you keep him alive in The Force Awakens or in The Last Jedi, besides to have him have a rematch with Kylo Ren? That's what I thought last night. It was like, why else would you keep him alive? This is his redemption. This is his way to say, hey, like, this is my fight back for being in the First Order, not agreeing with it, not agreeing with their stance and what they were given. Why not give him something to redeem himself? A lightsaber fight with Kylo Ren.
He's already redeemed himself by taking down Phasma.
Oh my God, she died.
I'm just saying that was his redeeming moment.
Don't get me started on Phasma.
The fact that he wanted to sacrifice himself for the First Order. I mean, for the Resistance. That was his redeeming moment. Now, in this one, you're going to see him as a general, a captain, something with more structure, very similar to where you see Han Solo in Return of the Jedi. Where he's commanding a mission, a segment, a part of a strategy. That's all that's going to happen. He's not going to fight Kylo. I will bet you whatever you want. He's not going to fight Kylo. Lightsaber to lightsaber.
I think he's going to fight.
Whatever you want to bet. I'm down for it. Whatever you want to bet. But while the mechanized battles going on whatever planet they're on, I think there's going to be a crazy, nasty space battle as well.
Yeah, and so go ahead.
No, I'm just I don't know what to compare it to because the closest thing I can think of may be Return of the Jedi.
Really,
What? That space battle?
it's the exact same thing I
Are
wrote.
you serious?
I was like, it's going to be a resistance versus first order versus the emperor, whatever's going to happen there, and it's going to be very very similar to Return of the Jedi.
Or it might. No, I don't think it's gonna be a blockade because that's what it was in Episode One, Phantom
It,
Menace.
I agree with you. I don't think we're going to get a blockade. I think that was something they tried and it didn't work. And
Well, no, it worked for that story. It worked for that episode, but I don't see that there's just gonna be some type of space battle going on. I think in conjunction with the ground forces. But the question is this going to all go down while Kylo and Rey are fighting in that water scene that they showed in Vanity Fair?
so, do you think that they're just fighting each other or fighting? So my other lightsaber battle that I wrote down out of left field, guys. If you've listened to this podcast long enough, you're probably like, that guy has no idea like what his left fields mean. But I wrote down Palp, Kylo, and Rey fighting lightsaber to lightsaber. I very similar. I even wrote this down. Very similar to Yoda fighting the Emperor and Return of the Sith.
Revenge
And
of the Sith.
Returns. Thank you. Revenge of the Sith. I wrote ROS and I was like, oh, it's Return. Revenge of the Sith. Very, very similar to that.
What do you mean very similar to that?
So not that Kylo or Rey would die, but the way the moving around, they ended up into the center, the Senate. I guess it's not chambers, but the Senate hall. They moved around. The Emperor being able to flip, jump, and do things that you wouldn't expect somebody of his age or his wisdom to be able to do. It's just very intense fighting that is going to really challenge all three of them to the max. That's what I was trying to get at.
People have speculated that that one scene that they show on Vanity Fair, where Kylo's, I think he's going high and Rey's going like low, that they're attacking somebody in the middle that they just photoshopped out. I don't know if that's true or not, or it's just a weird angle that they got them coming down and they're about to do a lightsaber spin and change the arc of their blades, but it would definitely be something. The question is, they've already said Palpatine's not alive, but
I've seen this Sith do many different
no,
things.
exactly. So he might not be alive in the traditional sense, but he still may be able to manipulate others to do his will. So
Yeah.
maybe he's not physically fighting, but he's gotten some other force strong user to be the puppet, be the one that he's manipulating into fighting on his behalf. And at the end of the movie, his goal is to transfer his essence into that body or something. I don't know. Very similar to Lord Momin in one of the Star Wars comics. Because Lord Momin had a mask. If you wore the mask, then you would slowly like become him, his servant.
Yeah, I know you've mentioned him a couple of times before, but
Momin, people say it differently.
yeah. At first, I was like, "Are you going Game of Thrones on me here?" Because he did not transfer his essence at all. He became a White Walker, but that's about it. Spoiler if you haven't watched Game of Thrones. But yeah, Palp, Kylo, and Rey. It's got to happen. How big it happens or what the ending is, I can't say, but I foresee that it's going to happen. I do think Kylo and Rey will have a lightsaber fight, hands down.
Oh, they have
at some point.
Yeah,
at some point in the movie, they will have one.
Okay, so
But
I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
but I think the epic one is going to be between Palp, Kylo, and Rey.
Okay, so right here, right now, how many lightsaber fights are Rey and Kylo gonna have throughout this movie? Because we know there's a scene or there's a potential scene of Rey on a desert planet, and then you have somebody in what looks to be like Kylo's TIE fighter going at her head up. And then the next time we see them together, again, Vanity Fair, is the water splashing scene, whether it's on top of the Millennium Falcon, atop of Death Star destruction tech, we don't know. How many times are they going to fight with lightsabers? Go. Give me your number.
2.
2?
I had that number in mind before. It was going to be 2. I don't think it'll be 2, and then they'll have another one with somebody with the PAL, but it'll be 2 between themselves. And I have heard the rumors, speculation that that's not actually Kylo Ren in the TIE Fighter. But even regardless of that, and the other Vanity Fair picture of them on the water.
Well, we know Kylo's in the desert. Because, again,
Yeah,
the Vanity Fair cover. You know what I mean? Like, they're both in the desert.
It's going to be 2. Hands down, it's going to be 2. You know, I give it 2. No more than 2.
I want to go crazy. I want to go 3.
Yeah, but you like odd numbers and throwing me off. That's fine.
I'm gonna lock in at 3.
Okay, I'm gonna lock in at 2. Dave's gonna lock in at 3.
All right. Let's see.
So are we done with lightsaber fights? Because I want to talk about a ground battle that we know is probably gonna happen. It's not probably.
Well, ground battle.
You're gonna have the Knights of Ren. Do we have that the trailer and also the photos of them like in that boat?
But is that a ground
thing?
battle? That just looks more like a chase.
I think that
that's a chase sequence. That's not a.
You
ground
think
battle.
that's a chase sequence? I called it a
it's a
ground battle. It may be a small one, maybe a small ground battle, but I think it's a. Okay, we're just gonna jump in these things. There had to have been a battle before, or something that's gonna happen afterwards. I say it's a battle.
I'm. Okay, what do you deem a battle? Because then we can have the question. What?
Fighting.
Well, yeah, but what kind of fighting? How many people is considered a battle versus a fight?
So,
because technically a fight and a battle, you could say they're almost the same thing, but for me, a battle is more on the epic scale where there's X amount of people. A fight is 1-on-1 or like 2-on-1.
I would say you have to have 5 people on each side as a battle for me. Not a battle, a fight. Or what do we say? Like, yeah.
So 5-on-5 is a battle?
Because if you have 5 against 1, that's a fight. I'm sorry, it's one person.
5-on-1 is a fight?
I think that's a fight. That's not a battle. It's a murderous battle or a murderous fight, but it's a fight. It's one person. You're fighting one person, even if it's 5 against 1.
I don't know.
I think we're taking ground battles to like the extreme where we say, oh no, we have to have 40,000 troops against 30,000 troops.
Fine. You're saying that there's going to be some shit going down with the Knights of Ren. That's why Poe, 3PO, and all them are running.
Yeah,
that's why. Okay.
I consider that a battle. Now you're gonna make me Google battle.
I consider that a chase scene. Like, okay, so
what if they're not chasing each other? They're not running from each other. What would it be then?
Say that again.
If they're not chasing each other or they're not running from each other and they're just meet up in like the market, what do you call that then? A fight?
But obviously, you see Poe and them running away on that shuttle, being chased by the Knights of Ren or by somebody on like swoop bikes.
I get that, but what I'm asking is then what do you define as a fight in a battle? You ask me, what do you define as a fight, and what's a battle?
So for me, a fight was in the throne room against the Praetorian Guards. That was a fight. A battle.
I would agree.
A battle is episode 1. The Gungans against the B-1 battle droids. A battle is Hoth. Battle of Hoth, where you have the resistance guys, the rebels, whatever you want to call them, the snow troopers, the AT-ATs. That is a battle. A fight, that's something a little bit closer, a little bit more intimate. So like when Obi and Qui-Gon fought Maul, that's a fight. That's not a battle. In my mind.
It's a fight. So what do you call the Return of the Jedi with the Ewoks on Endor?
That is a battle.
There wasn't a whole lot of people.
What do you mean there wasn't a whole lot of stormtroopers? There was a shitload of stormtroopers
and a
shitload of Ewoks. You had AT-ATs there. You had freaking traps. You had little Ewoks getting shot and not waking up.
But if you compare it to the scale,
it was the same scale
of Hoth, and there was not as many people on Hoth. There was more people on Hoth. There was more people on Naboo for episode 1.
But okay, so how many times did they keep showing more stormtroopers, more regiments coming in?
That's what I'm saying. It's all a matter of perspective.
That is a battle. That is a battle. There's AT-ATs there. There's swoop bikes. There's
A sustained fight between large organized armed forces is what Google deems a battle as a noun.
I agree with Google, and Endor was a battle. It wasn't a fight.
A verb by Google: fight or struggle tenaciously to achieve or resist something.
So for me, okay, Rogue One, at the very end on Scarif, that was still a battle.
I would agree with you.
Then why are you saying Endor was not a battle? Why? That's all I'm trying to figure out.
I'm not saying it's not a battle.
You just
I
said it
agree
wasn't
it's
a
a battle. But what I'm saying is if we're talking about scales and numbers, Endor did not have a whole lot of people. Neither did Rogue One at the end of it.
Yeah,
You had
because they
people that
all
were
died.
coming in and exactly. You had people that were coming in and helping. But that's what I was trying to get to. Do you think it's a battle? Because if you're comparing it to like episode 1, obviously that's a battle.
Episode 1, a battle. Episode 2, in the Geonosian arena, that is a battle. Episode 3.
Oh, with all the lights, with all the
Jedi. And then not even that, just like outside the arena when they're like trying to catch Dooku. That's a battle, my man. All that is battle. I think a fight is a little bit more intimate. So okay.
a fight. Google defines a fight: take part in a violent struggle involving the exchange of physical blows or the use of weapons.
So in Solo, okay, the train sequence that led to Enfys Nest, do you consider that a fight or a battle?
That's a fight.
I agree. I don't know what we're arguing about because you're saying you agree on everything now.
I'm just saying we're talking about a ground. If it's a chase or a fight or a battle.
See, so for me in Solo, it was a fight that led to a chase.
Maybe this is a fight that leads to a chase.
Then say that.
I did.
You said it
but
weird.
Not in those words.
You said it weird and wonky. You're like, what if they meet in a market? What the hell do you mean if they meet in a market?
Kylo, Rey and BB-8 and Finn on Jakku.
That was a chase.
Yeah. But they met in a market in Jakku.
So you're saying they're gonna meet in a market in episode 9 and they're just gonna run into the Knights of Ren while they're picking like space oranges? That's the way you make it sound. Like the Knights of Ren's like, oh, I need more fruit in my diet. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
we don't know anything.
No,
we don't know anything about them.
Get the hell out of here. We've digressed too damn much, and now you're pissing me off with that nonsense. 5. 5?
Yeah, 5.
7, 12, 9.
Anyway.
No, how many ground battles do you think they're going to be? And again, battles, bigger engagements.
I would say then just one. It'll be the mechanized force that fights on the battle on the ground. You're going to have a lot of little fights based off our previous discussion, but I would say you're going to have one large one, which will transpire with the space battle and the lightsaber battle.
I think you might get 2. I think that scene with Kylo and the lightsaber and him slamming whoever the hell that guy was, whether it's a Knight of Ren or somebody else, I think you're going to get 2. Probably the Kylo one's not going to be as crazy and intense as the last final one battle, obviously, because it's the crescendo, but I think it's going to be a beast little battle.
So the one when you brought this topic up and I was sitting here thinking about it, you know what I thought of in game?
What?
Like the in game battle, the last battle.
Oh yeah, like that
Avengers Endgame
thing, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, very grandiose. What do you call it? The crescendo, the big reveal or whatever you want to call it. That's what I foresee happening as an epic, like, we are going to send Star Wars off this over 40 years of movies, 9 films, Skywalker saga, in a way that this is going to happen. And you're going to find this over here 20 years later. This is where we're going to be. That's what I honestly, that's what I think is exactly going to
Yeah,
happen.
I agree.
How JJ does it is everything, but I think that's what's going to happen.
In my mind, you got something similar to just what you said. I see a space battle going on. I see like a lightsaber fight going off in the distance, like in the far distance. Like you could barely make out who it is. You just see lightsabers clash and blurs. And you have like TIE fighters, freaking X-Wings flying in low atmo also. Like just insanity. That's what I want to see. I want to see the mechanized force, the freaking horse tauntaun things going to town, lightsaber battle in the distance, ties and X-Wings and Atmo, and a huge crazy space battle up top. Where you just see like things exploding in space. And I don't know.
Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows, similar.
I think the closest one you hit the nail on the head was the Endgame one.
Which is surprising. I'm very surprised with this with you. I'm going to be honest with you. Because usually you're not a, let's do it the same way that somebody else did it, or we don't need happy endings and blah, 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 and all that other stuff. And so I was surprised that you were agreed with that comment. I really am.
The one difference is I don't see Kylo and Rey being on the ground floor of that fight. So
I would agree.
Thanos was in the thick of things. Thanos was in the middle of it, fighting all the Avengers, all the other little grunts, with his like 5 Guardian guys and gals. No, Kylo and Rey, they're gonna be off to the side. They're gonna have their own complete thing going on. Avengers, the whole goal was to get everybody in one freaking scene, one shot. This isn't gonna be that. They're gonna have their own separate engagement. You may see it, you probably won't. While the ground forces are here, that's there. There's gonna be 3 separate things going on.
Yeah, and I think that
because that's just classic Star Wars. That's how Star Wars does crazy big battles.
Yeah, and you're also and I mentioned Dave is not a fan of happy endings. It needs to end how in reality things happen, and so I could see it being, Endgame did not end very happily.
Yeah, it did.
Spoiler alert
Or
if
you
you
talking
haven't
about?
seen it.
Yeah, it did. How did it not end happy?
There was a lot of people upset about how it ended.
Everybody came back to
people.
life. What?
I don't want to talk about it because it's a spoiler then.
How is it not a happy ending? Everybody lived. No one
Except-
died. Except for friggin' Stark.
Okay.
You have one murder.
You have Stark, and then also what happened with Captain America. He exited stage left.
But it was by choice.
It is by choice, and he's getting to spend his life with the person that he loves. I get that.
How is that not a happy ending?
There was a ton of people upset about the Tony Stark thing. A ton.
Again, they had alluded to it the entire time Tony was in any movie, that he was an asshole with a heart. You just couldn't see it. And then slowly, progressively, he kept sacrificing himself. Avengers 1, he sacrificed himself. He attempted to sacrifice himself. The footprint was there the entire time. I don't want to hear anybody whining and crying. It was going to happen. It was going to happen. I'm done. Am I not true? Did you not see Tony Stark sacrificing himself?
I didn't have any problem with the way it ended.
No, but did you not foresee that happening that way?
I know. It's very apparent that he sacrifices himself throughout the entire MCU universe.
Well, then why is it a surprise?
I'm not telling you I'm upset about it.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, why is it a surprise for some people? Even more so, Tony Stark getting the last word on Thanos. That's all it is. I feel like you're just trying to push buttons this morning, John. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's not fun when the shoe's on the other foot, right?
No, but it's pointless. Why people get upset about?
I agree with
Tony
you.
Stark, it's not a happy ending. It's a happy ending. Everybody is alive.
And 7 years ago, before I met Dave, I probably would have been the same way. I'd been like, "This is upsetting," and now I'm just like, "Oh no, happy endings are not happy endings."
But it's not reality. That is the ideal happy ending. Everybody's okay. Thor's still fat. I love Fat Thor. Tony's kids.
He's working on his summer bod.
Tony's kid's alive. Everything's okay. It's a happy end. Out of everything, you only lose one person to death and one person to old age. It's not bad.
I digress. We digress.
That's not
Sorry,
bad.
guys. We got off a lot of tangents today, but
I blame John.
I think that's the way it's going to be. It's going to be the end game battle.
I say 75% of that is accurate, except, again, the lightsaber battle is going to be held somewhere else.
Absolutely. But I agree with you that it's going to be all three. You're going to have three major events taking place at the same time. Lightsaber, space battle, and ground battle all happening at the same time. At least one where they all correspond. You may have other battles, we've talked about the numbers. You may have one where it's a lightsaber and a ground battle or a lightsaber and a space battle. But in reality, I think you're going to have one grandiose battle between everything at the end.
Okay, real quick. Is Poe staying alive or is he dying in this movie?
I thought about this before you even asked, and I thought about this last night. I think we're going to lose Poe. I really do think Poe's going to end. It's going to be gone.
Okay, so you're saying Poe's dead.
Poe's dead. Are you taking notes of this?
I'm taking notes. I'm writing it down.
What do you think?
I think he's going to make it.
Okay.
Finn, alive or dead?
I think Finn's going to make it. I really do.
I think Finn's going to die.
You think he's going to be the sacrifice?
Finn's going to die.
Him and Rose Tico together?
What do you think of Rose? Living or dying?
Dying.
I think she's going to live. Chewie, living or dying?
Oh, you have told me your thoughts on this
I think
before,
Chewie's
and I
gonna
don't
bite it.
like it.
I think
I
Chewie's
don't
going to bite
like
it.
it.
Well, then what are you saying?
Sadly, I have to agree with you.
think
I
Chewie's
do
gonna
think
go?
Chewie's going to go.
Lando. I think he's going to live.
Yeah, I don't see him. Yeah, I see him living.
Leia.
Like in the physical sense, or no?
I'm talking in the movie.
Honestly, as much as I think that they should have let it go in Last Jedi and they should let it go in this one, I think she's going to end up living.
I agree. Living. Let's see. Who else do we have?
Rey?
Well, I'm trying to save them for the end. I think that's really it.
Yeah, BB-8.
Yeah, BB. Okay, Rey, living or dead?
I think Rey's going to live.
The biggest question. Kylo, living or dead?
I think Kylo's going to live.
I think Kylo's going to live too. Question is...
You think Rey's going to live?
I think Rey's going to live.
Okay.
Question is Kylo going to be redeemed? Or will Rey fall to the dark side?
We've talked about this.
So
we've already had an episode on this.
So lock it in, which is what's happening.
We've already had an episode on this.
I'm talking about it now. Lock it in. Final answer.
The final answer is that he's not going to be redeemed and Rey's not going to join the dark side.
Okay. But they're both going to live.
Yes.
Okay. Locked in. Anybody else that we're forgetting? Major characters?
What was yours?
About what? Her going to the dark side?
Cray. Kylo or Rey?
I think she's gonna stay somewhere in the middle, and Kylo's just he's gonna stay Kylo. I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't think he's gonna get redeemed. I just don't know what his outcome is, though.
Oh, I would agree. I don't think he's gonna get redeemed, but I don't know the outcome. And I don't think Rey's gonna go to the dark side, but again, I don't know the outcome.
Yeah. So far, she's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, I would agree.
Say she's a true Jedi. Well, she's a Jedi, but she was so easily intrigued by the dark side when she was training with Luke. So who knows?
She was.
Is that it?
I'm trying to think if we forgot anybody else besides the droids like BB-8 and all that.
Okay, the Falcon, is it gonna live or is it gonna get blown up?
The Falcon has to live. That thing has been through so much. It has to live. Has to.
I kind of want to say it should go, just to throw people on their heads, but that would be the only reason.
Has to live.
Fair enough. Snap Wexley.
Oh my God. Seriously. Roger, Mr. Timmon.
Mr. Bones is dead, unfortunately. All right, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Guys, we thank you for tuning in today. We are the Rule of Two, a Star Wars podcast. Check us out on tpublic.com and also check out our Patreon page. We'd love to hear from you guys. Continue to send us your comments and your questions. And as always, may the Force be with you.
And Thrawn Treason is awesome. If you haven't read it, go check it out. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in today. We are The Rule of Two, a Star Wars podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Rule of Two Pod. Check us out on our website at www.theruleoftwopodcast.com or send us an email via contact@theruleoftwopodcast.com. Check us out on Patreon and TeePublic for exclusive deals and merchandise. And we are in no way affiliated with Disney, Lucasfilms, or the Collider Podcast Rule of Two. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy.